Okay.
Don't smile at me. I don't want laughter in there.
Okay.
I'm here to ask you a few questions about being prepared.
It means taking time out of your life to get things in order, like to really think about what you're going to do before you do it.
And I know that personal responsibility and motivation, which you guys have talked about, are two huge things. And part of those are you have to learn them yourself. But I think part of them you have to be taught to, and it has to be enforced in the school system. And that might be something that we can improve on.
That in advance of a performance or a job, that you've done what's necessary for success.
I would say going to class is a biggie.
I think that people should be ready to do what is asked of them.
Doing things you're supposed to, waking up on time, being places you need to be on time.
Is being prepared really a skill? I mean, how can you...
It's a frame of mind.
Okay.
It's a lifestyle habit, and to me, it is looking beyond right now.
I just want to add, when I think of a basic requirement, I would say be there, meaning be there in class, be on time, and be organized.
A habit I can think of that got taught to me as a little kid is crossing the street. You really don't think about it right before you cross. You just look left and right and not pay nothing to it. It's in your brain that you're going to do it without, you just do it. And if everything is a habit like that, you're going to keep doing it, like bring stuff to school on time.
I have a first grader and a fourth grader right now, and I've noticed that they've eliminated homework from the elementary school, so I'm not sure why you want a freshman to be prepared if he's never experienced it through elementary school.
I think the expectation should be harder on a senior because they have had that amount of time to learn how to be prepared. And as a freshman, I think it should be instilled harder, though, on a senior, because if you're not taught from the very beginning, they're not going to understand it near as well.
Well, as a teacher, I expect my students to be prepared when they get to class. I expect them to be there when the bell rings, have their projects out, and have the clay and tools they need, and be ready to go to work.
That's what I tell students. I said, take every writing class you can, take every speech class you can, because you can be the next Stephen Hawkins, the most brilliant person in the world. If you can't get those ideas across so people can understand them, it's worthless.
Bringing yourself to class.
Work hard, take good notes.
Just means to bring all the materials that I need to get my classwork done, and then make sure that it's done well.
You have to know what's expected from you, and whether that's through training or just through life going through school, even just recently, the expectations sometimes that we have in the workplace, we have to make sure that the employee understands them. And sometimes that comes through training, and I think that pulls through with classrooms. I'm the maintenance engineer here, and it's amazing how many classrooms have on the doors that says, assume you need your book today. You're going to class, why would you not take the book for your class? They know the expectation, and they still sometimes don't produce.
You definitely have to be listening and absorbing that information to obtain the knowledge.
I'll make sure that I've gone through what I'm going to teach and how I'm going to teach it in my demonstrations.
And it's frustrating to see the same kid every day taking your progress away from you just so they can catch up to something they should.
If you owned a business, would you hire that kid?
Well, also
how long it took her to answer that question.
And I work with, it's for me as a 16-year-old to work with in the same job as 25-plus-year-olds and be some nights I go home and go, wow, I really, I don't know how you could possibly be there at 25 and why you'd want to be there and what, I couldn't really taught me working at such a young age so much that like I don't want to be there. Like I want to have a better life for myself. I want to not have to be in a job like this, or I want to be prepared and know what is going on.
To be ready, to be detailed, to be well versed in material, or to be ready.
Get your energy up.
Employers don't wait. The customers don't wait. This country loses $40 billion a year in lost productivity from people waiting on service providers to show up. And those habits start in junior high. They start in high school. And it's a different world when you step out of these doors.
I think more than anything else is to not overlook the details. Not overlooking the details is huge.
And I can appreciate the concept of positive reinforcement and not necessarily punishment, but the consequences of not being prepared and not having that homework ready, not having studied for that test. In my opinion, as a business owner, it doesn't do the future workforce any service at all. It does a disservice.
Look at the immigrants that come into this country, how diligent these folks are. They come from cultures that expect diligence. And ours doesn't, I think, as much as it used to, respect diligence. So these people are going to succeed in our culture, in my opinion, and should be welcomed, because that's who we are in America. We're entrepreneurial, and we are diligent about what we do. In terms of life, I think that persistence being there, I guess you'd say that the gold ring of life is given to the person who shows up.
People, preparation, performance. That's my 3 Ps.
That if you have experience with being prepared, you'll be less likely to mess up in the real world.
You know, I was speaking this fall to a lady that I graduated with, and she trains people at Walmart. And I asked her candidly, I said, what kind of product are we sending you? And she said, I have a test. The first day when I hire somebody, I just have a little test set up. She's probably, one of you goes and works for Walmart, this is giving you a heads up. But she walks through the back room and she has got boxes stacked right in the middle of the aisle and full of product. And she'll begin to, and she's a fit, you know, she's volunteer firefighter, she's a pretty fit gal, but she'll reach down and she'll start stacking these products off to the side. And this person that she just hired, she's currently paying $8 an hour. It's a test. Is this person going to stand here and watch me stack all of these off to the side? Or is it going to occur to this person halfway through, I ought to be pitching in here, I'm getting paid too. And she can tell what she's getting right there. And I would say that it's very, very indicative when I look at a kid over and over again and say, you didn't bring your book today, you didn't bring something to write with, you're borrowing some paper from somebody. I would say those two things probably go together, and that's a precursor to the kind of kid that's going to stand and watch her stack all of those boxes.
And I think there's 2 levels of that. There's acceptance of responsibility, seeing those things, which you need in life, especially in the job workplace. But that next level of success comes from what I call picking the balls up and rolling across the floor. You see an opportunity to improve something, to provide a service, to do something better, and you take the initiative to pick that ball up, that opportunity, and run with it. If the boss says, no, I don't want you to do that, he'll tell you. But if he says, hey, that guy's got, like Tony said, that guy sees what's going on, that person sees what's going on, and takes some initiative, that lets people go to that next step, beyond just being on time, touching their time clock, and going home.
It feels like you're relaxed and you're free of anxiety and you can calm down a little bit.
You feel confident you're self-assured of yourself, but you're willing to make room for mistakes and to learn from your mistakes.
It feels like I'm ready for anything and I can tackle whatever challenges come my way.